रामेश्वराय शिव रामेश्वराय, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय। रामेश्वराय शिव रामेश्वराय, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर भोले नमः।
ओम न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागे नैके अमृतत्वमानशुः, परेण नाकं निहितं गुहायां विभ्राजते यद्यतयो विशन्ति। वेदान्तविज्ञानसुनिश्चितार्था सन्न्यासयोगाद्यतय शुद्धसत्त्वाः, ते ब्रह्मलोके तु परान्तकाले परामृताः परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे। दह्रं विपापं परमेश्मभूतं यत्पुण्डरीकं पुरमध्यस्सगस्थं, तत्रापि दह्रं गगनं विशोकस्तस्मिन् यदन्तस्तदुपासितव्यं। यो वेदादौ स्वरप्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः, तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य यः परः स महेश्वरः। न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं, नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः। तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं, तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति।
आरति श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की, दिव्य रूप मूर्ति करुणा की। आरति सद्गुरु की, आरति सद्गुरु की, आरति सद्गुरु की।
We stand as one family, bound to each other with love and respect. We serve as an army, courageous and disciplined, ever ready to fight against all low tendencies and false values, within and without us. We live honestly, the noble life of sacrifice and service, producing more than what we consume, and giving more than what we take. We seek the Lord's grace to keep us on the path of virtue, courage, and wisdom. May thy grace and blessings flow through us to the world around us. We believe that the service of our country is the service of the Lord of Lords, and devotion to the people is the devotion to the Supreme Self. We know our responsibilities. Give us the ability and courage to fulfill them. Om Tat Sat.
Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. 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 Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha.
Hari Om. Pratna Piyush, page 67. Shantakaram bhujagashayanam padmanabham suresham vishwadharam gaganasadrusham meghavarnam shubhangam लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिभिर्ध्यानगम्यम् वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरम् सर्वलोकैकनाथम्। ॐ विश्वं विष्णुर्वषट्कारः भूतभव्यभवत्प्रभुः भूतकृद्भूतभृद्भावः भूतात्मा भूतभावनः भूतात्मा परमात्मा च मुक्तानां परमागतिः अव्ययपुरुषः साक्षी क्षेत्रज्ञोऽक्षर एव च योगो योगविदां नेता प्रधानपुरुषेश्वरः नारसिंहवपुः श्रीमान् केशवः पुरुषोत्तमः सर्वशर्वशिवस्थाणुः भूतादिर्निधिरव्ययः सम्भवो भावनो भर्ता प्रभवः प्रभुरीश्वरः स्वयंभुः शम्भुरादित्यः पुष्कराक्षो महास्वनः अनादिनिधनो धाता विधाता धातुरुत्तमः अप्रमेयो हृषीकेशः पद्मनाभो मरप्रभुः विश्वकर्मा मनुस्त्वष्टा स्थविष्ठस्थविरो ध्रुवः अग्राह्यः शाश्वतः कृष्णः लोहिताक्षप्रतर्दनः प्रभूतस्त्रिककुब्धाम पवित्रं मङ्गलं परम् ईशानः प्राणदः प्राणः ज्येष्ठः श्रेष्ठः प्रजापतिः हिरण्यगर्भो भूगर्भः माधवो मधुसूदनः ईश्वरो विक्रमी धन्वी मेधावी विक्रमक्रमः अनुत्तमो दुराधर्षः कृतज्ञकृतिरात्मवान् सुरेशः शरणं शर्म विश्वरेता प्रजाभवः अहः संवत्सरो व्यालः प्रत्ययः सर्वदर्शनः अजः सर्वेश्वरः सिद्धः सिद्धिः सर्वादिरच्युतः वृषा कपिरमेयात्मा सर्वयोगविनिसृतः वसुर्वसुमनः सत्यः समात्मा संमितः समः अमोघः पुण्डरीकाक्षः वृषकर्मा वृषाकृतिः रुद्रो बहुशिरा बभ्रुः विश्वयोनिः शुचिश्रवाः अमृतः शाश्वतस्थाणुः वरारोहो महातपाः सर्वगः सर्वविद्भानुः विश्वक्सेनो जनार्दनः वेदो वेदविदव्यङ्गः वेदाङ्गो वेदवित्कविः लोकाध्यक्षः सुराध्यक्षः धर्माध्यक्षः कृताकृतः चतुरात्मा चतुर्व्यूहः चतुर्दंष्ट्रश्चतुर्भुजः भ्राजिष्णुर्भोजनं भोक्ता सहिष्णुर्जगदादिजः अनघो विजयो जेता विश्वयोनिः पुनर्वसुः उपेन्द्रो वामनः प्रांशुः अमोघः शुचिरूर्जितः अतीन्द्रः सङ्ग्रहः सर्गः धृतात्मा नियमो यमः वेद्यो वैद्यः सदा योगी वीरः माधवो मधुः अतीन्द्रियो महामायः महोत्साहो महाबलः महाबुद्धिर्महावीर्यः महाशक्तिर्महाद्युतिः अनिर्देश्य वपुः श्रीमान् अमेयात्मा महाद्रिधृक् महेश्वासो महीभर्ता श्रीनिवासः सतां गतिः अनिरुद्धः सुरानन्दः गोविन्दो गोविदाम्पतिः मरीचिर्दमनो हंसः सुपर्णो भुजगोत्तमः हिरण्यनाभः सुतपाः पद्मनाभः प्रजापतिः अमृत्युः सर्वदृक्सिंहः सन्धाता सन्धिमान् स्थिरः अजो दुर्मर्षणः शास्ता विश्रुतात्मा सुरारिः गुरुर्गुरुतमो धाम सत्यः सत्यपराक्रमः निमिषो निमिषस्रग्वी वाचस्पतिरुदारधीः अग्रणीर्ग्रामणि श्रीमान् न्यायो नेता समीरणः सहस्रमूर्धा विश्वात्मा सहस्राक्षः सहस्रपात् आवर्तनो निवृत्तात्मा संवृतः संप्रमर्दनः अहः संवर्तको वह्निः अनिलो धरणीधरः सुप्रसाद प्रसन्नात्मा विश्वभुग्विभुः सत्कर्ता सत्कृतः साधुः जह्नुर्नारायणो नरः असंख्येयो प्रमेयात्मा विशिष्टशिष्टकृच्छुचिः सिद्धार्थः सिद्धसङ्कल्पः सिद्धिदः सिद्धिसाधनः।
वृषा हि वृषभो विष्णुः वृषपर्वा वृषोदरः वर्धनो वर्धमानश्च विविक्तश्रुतिसागरः सुभुजो दुर्धरो वाग्मी महेन्द्रो वसुदो वसुः नैकरूपो बृहद्रूपः क्षितिविष्टप्रकाशनः ओजस्तेजोद्युतिधरः प्रकाशात्मा प्रतापनः रुद्धस्पष्टाक्षरो मन्त्रः चन्द्रांशुर्भास्करद्युतिः अमृतांशुद्भवो भानुः शशबिन्दुः सुरेश्वरः औषधं जगतः सेतुः सत्यधर्मपराक्रमः भूतभव्यभवन्नाथः पवनः पावनो नलः कामः कामकृत्कान्तः कामः कामप्रदप्रभुः युगादिकृत्युगावर्तः नैकमायो महाशनः अदृश्यो व्यक्तरूपश्च सहस्रजिदनन्दजित् इष्टो विशिष्टशिष्टेष्टः शिखण्डी नहुषो वृषः क्रोधः क्रोधकृत्कर्ता विश्वबाहुर्महीधरः अच्युतप्रथितप्राणः प्राणदो वासवानुजः अपां निधिरधिष्ठानम् अप्रमत्तप्रतिष्ठितः स्कन्दस्कन्दधरो धुर्यः वरदो वायुवाहनः वासुदेवो बृहद्भानुः आदिदेवः पुरन्दरः अशोकस्तारणस्तारः शूरशौरिर्जनेश्वरः अनुकूलशतावर्तः पद्मी पद्मनिभेक्षणः पद्मनाभोरविन्दाक्षः पद्मगर्भः शरीरभृत् महर्धिरुद्धो वृद्धात्मा महाक्षो गरुडध्वजः अतुलशरभो भीमः समयज्ञो हविर्हरिः सर्वलक्षणलक्षण्यः लक्ष्मीवान् समितिञ्जयः विक्षरो रोहितो मार्गः हेतुर्दामोदरः सहः महीधरो महाभागः वेगवानमिताशनः उद्भवक्षोभणो देवः श्रीगर्भः परमेश्वरः करणं कारणं कर्ता विकर्ता गहनो गुहः व्यवसायो व्यवस्थानः संस्थानस्थानदो ध्रुवः परर्दिः परमस्पष्टः तुष्टपुष्टः शुभेक्षणः रामो विरामो विरजः मार्गो नेयो नयो नयः वीरशक्तिमतां श्रेष्ठः धर्मो धर्मविदुत्तमः वैकुण्ठः पुरुषः प्राणः प्राणदः प्रणवपृथुः हिरण्यगर्भः शत्रुघ्नः व्याप्तो वायुरधोक्षजः ऋतुः सुदर्शनः कालः परमेष्ठी परिग्रहः उग्रः संवत्सरो दक्षः विश्रामो विश्वदक्षिणः विस्तारस्थावरस्थाणुः प्रमाणं बीजमव्ययम् अर्थोऽनर्थो महाकोशः महाभोगो महाधनः अनिर्विण्णस्थविष्ठो भूः धर्मयूपो महामखः नक्षत्रनेमिर्नक्षत्री क्षमक्षामः समीहनः यज्ञ इज्यो महेज्यश्च क्रतुसत्रं सतां गतिः सर्वदर्शी विमुक्तात्मा सर्वज्ञो ज्ञानमुत्तमम् सुवृतः सुमुखः सूक्ष्मः सुघोषः सुखदः सुहृत् मनोहरोजितः क्रोधः वीरबाहुर्विदारणः स्वापनस्ववशो व्यापी नैकात्मा नैककर्मकृत् वत्सरो वत्सलो वत्सी रत्नगर्भो धनेश्वरः धर्मगुब्धर्मकृद्धर्मी सदसक्षरमक्षरम् अविज्ञाता सहस्रांशुः विधाता कृतलक्षणः गभस्ति नेमिः सत्त्वस्थः सिंहो भूतमहेश्वरः आदिदेवो महादेवः देवेशो देवभृद्गुरुः उत्तरो गोपतिर्गोप्ता ज्ञानगम्यः पुरातनः शरीरभूतभृद्भोक्ता कपीन्द्रो भूरि दक्षिणः सोमपोमृतपः सोमः पुरुजित्पुरुषत्तमः विनयो जयः सत्यसन्धः दाशार्हः सात्वतां पतिः
जीवो विनयिता साक्षी मुकुन्दोमित विक्रमः अम्भोनिधिरनन्तात्मा महोदधिशयोऽन्तकः अजो महार्हः स्वाभाव्यः जितामित्रप्रमोदनः आनन्दो नन्दनो नन्दः सत्यधर्मा त्रिविक्रमः महर्षिः कपिलाचार्यः कृतज्ञो मेदिनीपतिः त्रिपदस्त्रिदशाध्यक्षः महाशृङ्गकृतान्तकृत् महावराहो गोविन्दः सुषेण कनकाङ्गदी गुह्यो गभीरो गहनः गुप्तश्चक्रगदाधरः वेधास्वाङ्गोजितकृष्णः दृढः सङ्कर्षणोच्युतः वरुणो वारुणो वृक्षः पुष्कराक्षो महामनाः भगवान् भगः नन्दी वनमाली हलायुधः आदित्यो ज्योतिरादित्यः सहिष्णुर्गतिसत्तमः सुधन्वाखण्डपरशुः दारुणो द्रविणप्रदः दिवस्पृक्सर्वदृग्व्यासः वाचस्पतिरयोनिजः त्रिसामासामगः साम निर्वाणं भेषजम्भिषक् सन्न्यासकृच्चमः निष्ठा शान्तिपरायणम् शुभाङ्गः शान्तिदः षष्ठा कुमुदः कुवलेशयः गोहितो गोपतिर्गोप्ता वृषभाक्षो वृषप्रियः अनिवर्ती निवृत्तात्मा संक्षेप्ता क्षेमकृच्चिवः श्रीवत्सवक्षा श्रीवासः श्रीपतिः श्रीमतांवरः श्रीधः श्रीशः श्रीनिवासः श्रीनिधिः श्रीविभावनः श्रीधर श्रीकर श्रेयः श्रीमान् लोकत्रयाश्रयः स्वक्षस्वङ्गः शतानन्दः नन्दिर्ज्योतिर्गणेश्वरः विजितात्मा विधेयात्मा सत्कीर्तिश्छिन्न संशयः उदीर्णः सर्वतश्चक्षुः अनीशः शाश्वतस्थिरः भूषयो भूषणो भूतिः विशोकः शोकनाशनः अत्युष्मानर्चितः कुम्भः विशुद्धात्मा विशोधनः अनिरुद्धो प्रतिरथः प्रद्युम्नोमितविक्रमः कालनेमिनिहावीरः शौरिः शूरजनेश्वरः त्रिलोकात्मा त्रिलोकेशः केशवः केशिहा हरिः कामदेवः कामपालः कामी कान्तकृतागमः अनिर्देश्यवपुर्विष्णुः वीरोऽनन्तो धनञ्जयः ब्रह्मण्यो ब्रह्मकृद्ब्रह्मा ब्रह्म ब्रह्म विवर्धनः ब्रह्मविद् ब्राह्मणो ब्रह्मी ब्रह्मज्ञो ब्राह्मणप्रियः महाक्रमो महाकर्मा महातेजा महोरगः महाक्रतुर्महायज्वा महायज्ञो महाहविः स्तव्यस्तव प्रियस्तोत्रम् स्तुतिस्तोतारणप्रियः पूर्णपूरयिता पुण्यः पुण्यकीर्तिरनामयः मनोजवस्तीर्थकरः वसुरेता वसुप्रदः वसुप्रदो वासुदेवः वसुर्वसुमनाहविः सद्गतिः सत्कृतिः सत्ता सद्भूतिः सत्परायणः शूरसेनो यदुश्रेष्ठः सन्निवासः सुयामुनः भूतावासो वासुदेवः सर्वासु निलयो नलः दर्पः दर्पदो दृप्तः दुर्धरोऽथापराजितः विश्वमूर्तिर्महामूर्तिः दीप्तमूर्तिरमूर्तिमान् अनेकमूर्तिरव्यक्तः शतमूर्तिः शताननः एको नैकः सवक्किं यत्तत्पदमनुत्तमम् लोकबन्धुर्लोकनाथः माधवो भक्तवत्सलः सुवर्णवर्णो हेमाङ्गः वराङ्गश्चन्दनाङ्गदी वीरः विषमः शून्यः धृताशीरचलश्चलः अमानी मानदो मान्यः लोकस्वामी त्रिलोकधृक् सुमेधा मेधजो धन्यः सत्यमेधाधराधरः तेजो वृषोद्युतिधरः सर्वशस्त्रभृतांवरः प्रग्रहो निग्रहो व्यग्रः नैकशृङ्गो गदाग्रजः
चतुर्मूर्तिश्चतुर्बाहुः चतुर्व्यूहश्चतुर्गतिः चतुरात्मा चतुर्भावः चतुर्वेदविदेकपात् समावर्तो निवृत्तात्मा दुर्जयो दुरतिक्रमः दुर्लभो दुर्गमो दुर्गः दुरावासो दुरारिः शुभांगो लोकसारंगः सुतन्तुस्तन्तुवर्धनः इंद्रकर्मा महाकर्मा कृतकर्मा कृतागमः उद्भवः सुन्दरः सुन्दरः रत्ननाभः सुलोचनः अर्को वाजसनः शृंगी जयन्तः सर्वविजयी सुवर्णबिन्दुरक्षोभ्यः सर्ववागीश्वरेश्वरः महाहृदो महागर्तः महाभूतो महानिधिः कुमुदः कुन्दरः कुन्दः पर्जन्यः पावनो निलः अमृताशो मृतवपुः सर्वज्ञः सर्वतोमुखः सुलभः सुव्रतः सिद्धः शत्रुजिच्छत्रुतापनः न्यग्रोधो दुम्बरोऽश्वत्थः चाणूरान्ध्रनिषूदनः सहस्रार्चिः सप्तजिह्वः सप्तैधाः सप्तवाहनः अमूर्तिरनघो चिन्त्यः भयकृद्भयनाशनः अणुर्बृहत् कृशस्थूलः गुणभृन्निर्गुणो महान् अथृतः स्वधृतः स्वास्यः प्राग्वंशो वंशवर्धनः भारभृत्कथितो योगी योगीशः सर्वकामदः आश्रमश्रमणक्षामः सुपर्णो वायुवाहनः धनुर्धरो धनुर्वेदः दण्डो दमयितादमः अपराजितः सर्वसः नियन्ता नियमो यमः सत्त्ववान् सात्विकः सत्यः सत्यधर्मपरायणः अभिप्रायप्रियार्होर्हः प्रियकृत्प्रीतिवर्धनः विहाय सगतिर्ज्योतिः सुरुचिर्हुतभुग्विभुः रविर्विरोचनः सूर्यः सवितारविलोचनः अनन्तो हुतभुग्भोक्ता सुखदो नैकजोग्रजः अनिर्विण्णः सदा महर्षि लोकाधिष्ठानमद्भुतः सनात् सनातनतमः कपिलः कपिरप्ययः स्वस्ति स्वस्ति कृत् स्वस्ति स्वस्ति भुक् स्वस्ति दक्षिणः अरौद्र कुंडली चक्री विक्रम्यूर्जित शासनः शब्दातिगः शब्दसहः शिशिरः शर्वरीकरः अक्रूरप्पेशलो दक्षः दक्षिणक्षमिणाम्बरः विद्वत्तमो वीतभयः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः उत्तारणो दुष्कृतिः पुण्यो दुःस्वप्ननाशनः वीरः रक्षणः सन्तः जीवनपर्यवस्थितः अनन्तरूपोऽनन्तश्रीः जितमन्युर्भयापहः चतुरस्रो गभीरात्मा विदिशो व्यादिशो दिशः अनादिर्भूर्भुवो लक्ष्मीः सुवीरो रुचिराङ्गदः जननो जनजन्मादिः भीमो भीमपराक्रमः आधारनिलयो धाता पुष्पः सप्रजागरः ऊर्ध्वगः सत्पथाचारः प्राणदः प्रणवप्पणः प्रमाणं प्राणनिलयः प्राणभृत् प्राणजीवनः तत्त्वं तत्त्वविदेकात्मा जन्म मृत्युजरातिगः भूर्भुवः स्वस्तरुस्तारः सविता प्रपितामहः यज्ञो यज्ञपतिर्यज्वा यज्ञाङ्गो यज्ञवाहनः यज्ञभृद्यज्ञकृद्यज्ञी यज्ञभुग्यज्ञसाधनः यज्ञान्तकृद्यज्ञगुह्यम् अन्नमन्नाद एव च आत्मयोनिः स्वयं जातः वैखानः सामगायनः देवकी नन्दनः स्रष्टा क्षितीशः पापनाशनः शङ्खभृन्नन्दकी चक्री शाङ्गधन्वा गदाधरः रथाङ्गपाणिरक्षोभ्यः सर्वप्रहरणायुधः श्री सर्वप्रहरणायुधः ॐ नमः इति।
Hari Om. Uncle has lost his internet connection, so we are going to do a dhun in the meanwhile.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Gangadharai, Shiv Gangadharai, Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Gangadharai, Shiv Gangadharai, Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Jatadharai, Shiv Jatadharai, Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Jatadharai, Shiv Jatadharai.
कर्तुराज्ञया प्राप्यते फलं कर्म किं परं कर्मफलम् कृतिमहो ददौ पतनकारणं फलमशाश्वतं गतिनिरोधकम् कायवांग ईश्वरार्पितं नेच्छया कृतं चित्तशोधकं मुक्तिसाधकं कायवाङ्मनः कार्यमुत्तमं पूजनं जपश्चिन्तनं क्रमात् कर्तुराज्ञया प्राप्यते फलं कर्म किं परं कर्म तज्जडम्. Any one of you just raise your hand. Are you able to hear me? Okay, good, because my internet just went off and it just came back. Before I start, I have something to share with you all, and I want you to think about something. When we used to go to India years ago, when our children were little, or even now when you go, we talk to them. Nowadays on video, it used to be Skype, and we feel we know each other, we are close because we have known the family for long. Yet, when we actually went to Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Calcutta, Chennai, and went home and met our parents, our brothers, sisters, even some distant relatives that we were not in touch with. The minute we meet them, our heart gets filled with joy. Everyone has experienced this. Hey, when I was there for 2 years, I never thought of you, but now that I've met you, I feel so good. And after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, when it's time to come back, parents have tears in their eyes, they may not show. Your heart also, naturally you want to come back, but part of you says, no, why am I leaving my people? And the same thing is happening to you with your grandchildren. Many of us, our children are in Boston, New York, Miami, Seattle, San Francisco, Minnesota, and you go visit them. You Skype, you FaceTime, they say, Grandma, I miss you. You go there, you meet them. For 1 week, you are very happy. And when you are ready to come back, the little guy looks into your eyes and says, Grandma, can you not stay 1 more week? And your heart becomes very mushy. You really want to stay, but you have to come back. That's when you realize that you can have the best of FaceTime. It can never beat physical holding your children or just being in front of your grandchildren. If you agree with this, I'm sure past 2 years, we have been seeing each other through the computer and the Zoom. So though we feel close and hey, you are seeing Gaurang uncle, I don't get to see most of you. So in order to get away from the screen and to see each other physically and refresh what is in our heart so that we can see each other in the eye, we have decided that beginning March 6th, we will have in-person class. Now I realize there are some among you who have children with Bal Vihar and you have to set up their computer, etc. And you cannot come, that's understandable. But I want your spouse to come or every individual who possibly can come, start coming, follow the rules, mask, etc. But I think time has come. The problem also is going down. So let us plan, and I urge everyone. I know sometimes it's easy to be lazy. Right? Why drive when it's available on the screen? But there is a magic in being in front of each other. So I look forward to seeing as many of you as possible on 6th of March and maybe even 5th of March when we have the puja. So Bhagwan Raman Maharshi tells us everybody, one of us wants to be happy. So naturally we act. We do our very best, but the fruit does not always come to our liking. You may be rooting for LA Rams or Bengals, but both cannot win. Both will put forth their very best effort. Only one will win. Kruti Maho Dadau. Thus, you and I want to be happy, so we keep making effort, more action, more result. Some results come our way, some results are more than we expected, some are less than what we expected. Thus, I get drowned in action after action, and the results are finite. They are there for some short period of time. I enjoy it, then they go away, and again action starts. So the solution Raman Maharshi ji gives, he says karma yoga. Rather than having anxiety for the fruits of action, act you must. You also want result, that's all right. But rather than I want, Bhagwan says, why don't you offer whatever you are doing as Ishwara Arpitam, na Ichchaya Krutam. Not I want. This is what I have to do. I am awake, and these are my responsibilities today. Just as part of every part of the body does its function, I am an integral part of this universe, and I have this responsibility, and I have to be in harmony just as every part of my body remains in harmony with the rest of the Anga. Similarly, I, as a person in the universe, I must act in harmony in society as expected of me. Just like my heart is expected to do certain function, I do my career, and result is not under my control. So whatever Bhagwan gives, I accept it as prasad. And the result is as chitta shodhakam, mukti sadhakam, our heart becomes pure. And this, he says, just as when we go in mandir, how we become a bhakta and we leave behind all the titles at the door. Now I'm only a devotee and you are Bhagwan. There is no abhiman that I'm Mr. So-and-so, because you are the Lord, I am the bhakta. And during those 15 minutes, when you and I are listening to Om Jai Jagadish Hare, there is no abhiman. We totally surrender at the feet of the Lord. And the mind is relaxed and pure. I want to maintain that at all times, but I am not able to. So Bhagwan says, you want to create that bhakti bhav by understanding your relationship with the Lord. Right now, you and I are treating our relationship with Bhagwan as any other relative. This thing. In evening, you will go with some friends and you will watch the football. They are my friends. Then you come home, that relationship over, now something else. He says, all relationships come and go depending on what you do. But just as the relationship of the wave is permanent with the ocean, with other waves, they come and go. But with the ocean, it is a permanent relationship. My relationship with Bhagwan is permanent. All other relationship, wife, husband, father, mother, they come, they go, friends come and go even more often. Nowadays, even spouses come and go. All these things happen. But the creator and the created, that relationship is forever. Thus, I begin to appreciate that I am a bhakta and Bhagwan, and my relationship with Bhagwan is permanent. But how to maintain it? So Bhagwan says, Pujanam japas chintanam kramat. Kaya vang mana karyam uttamam. He says, with your body, kaya, vak, speech, mana, mind, karyam uttamam. Do what is expected of you as a society member. Pujanam japas chintanam krama. Puja first, then japa, then chintana. Puja at the physical level, chintan at the, japa at the vak level, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, and then meditation. Thus, you and I learn to appreciate the presence of Bhagwan, the creator who had already created the world, and I came into this world. How did he create? Of course, just as I create the dream out of me, I provide the material as well as I know how to create the dream. Similarly, Bhagwan out of himself has created this entire material. And he knows he's Sarvagnya, he's all-knowing, all-pervading, and all-powerful. And this I invoke in me by remembering, by doing puja, japa, and chintana. Now he says how to do puja. He says, Jagata Ishadi Yukta Sevanam. Jagata Ishadi Yukta Sevanam. Astamurti Bra Deva Pujanam. Astamurti Bra Deva Pujanam. Bhagwan says, you do puja. See, it's not that we are not used to doing puja. Every one of us is doing puja. Only thing is our object of puja is different. Right? If you have to go to reception, right, then what does the lady of the house do? Deha puja. Right? In the bathroom, trying to get ready and all this. What is it? Deha puja. When you want to start business and you want some money, what do? a rich friend who perhaps can give you some money, that friend's puja. When you want power, some certain things, then what happens? The authority, people who are in power, politicians, we do their puja. But the one who is all powerful, who has set up all the rules, right? How to do his puja? See, Bhagwan Sankaracharya has explained Panchayatana, 5 ayatanas. Ganpati, Surya, Ma or Amba Ma, Bhagwan Vishnu, and Bhagwan Shiva. These are 5 ayatana. Panchayatana, whose puja one can do. Now, can I do puja of all 5? Yes, you certainly can. But you have to have one as the principal and the other 4 as Gauna, as secondary. And most of us, Sanatan Dharma, we are in Sanatan Dharma, most of us, we are raised at our home either with worship of Krishna, worship of Shiva, some are worshipper of Ma, etc. Those who worship Ganpati as the principal, meaning Ganpati is the one who is Sarvagna, Sarvavyapi, he is all powerful, he is everywhere and he has created this everything. Those people are called Ganapatya, worshippers of Ganpati. Those who worship Bhagwan Surya Narayan, because he is Pratyaksa, they are called Saurya. Those who worship Amba Ma, Saraswati, Lakshmi, Devi, they are called Shakta, Shakti, Shakta. Those who worship Vishnu and his avatar Ramakrishna, they obviously are called Vaishnava. And those who worship Bhagwan Shiva are called Shaiva. So these 5 categories, but remember, just as you, the individual, is a doctor at the hospital, honey for your wife, son for your father, golfer with your golf buddies on Saturday, and father to your son, you are one. But different people see you differently. Some see you as Ganpati, not you, Bhagwan. Some see you as Vishnu, some as Shiva, some as Surya, some as Devi. Principle is one. Each, depending on his or her bhavna, sees the same Bhagwan in different way. Now, remember, the whole purpose is what? To maintain that bhakti bhavna within me, whereby my mind, how it is quiet and inspired in the mandir, I want to maintain that bhavna even when I'm doing ordinary everyday work. And the puja system is developed so well in Hinduism, whether other religions accept it or not. Mind needs pratik, something, an idol, to raise my mind to the ideal. Even those who condemn puja, etc., or the what they call murti puja, idol worship, they keep their grandchildren's picture on the cube, on the desk in their office. So when there is lot of pressure, etc., and they look at their little guy's smiling face, their mind becomes temporarily quiet. Oh, that little boy of mine. Thus, we human beings need. So we Hindus, some Sanatan Dharmis, have all these 5. And how do we worship? No different than how we receive our relative. The only difference is the bhavna is different. India is a hot country. It used to be that when a person came from a distance, you have to walk through the dirt road, etc. You come in a belgadi, you are tired, you are sweating, etc. So the puja starts with avahana. You invoke and invite Bhagwan, right? They ring the bell and now Bhagwan has come. But as soon as Bhagwan comes, what happens? Hey, you have come from a distance. You must be tired. You are a little bit dirty also with walking, no shoes, etc. Feet are dirty. So first we offer what? Padyam. Padyam samarpayami, right? Ganeshji does it. So please wash your feet, right? Then you give for, hand washing, and then we give water to drink, right? Argyam samarpayami. Right? There is a look. if it's okay, water is slightly warm, and we also have a baldi, a little bucket with cold water, go and take a shower, right? So snanam samarpayami. Then obviously when Bhagwan comes out, right? Vastram samarpayami, you offer him clothes. And Bhagwan, we offer the very best of clothes. Remember all this when you are doing puja, right? What happens? You are with your hand, you are doing it. You are at the same time chanting some mantras, etc. And mentally you are thinking of Lord. Right? Then Gandham Samarpayami, Puspam Samarpayami, all these things, all the way to Naivedyam Samarpayami, Deepam Samar, light as well as food offered, etc. And then Nrutya also, meaning entertainment, etc. We treat Bhagwan just like our guest. Just as tonight some of you have invited people. How when they come in, hey, coming, hey, we have appetizers, and the kickoff is now coming. That's in the same way. Everything starts, and you develop bhavna for the people who will be visiting you tonight because of the ball game. Similarly, you develop identification with Bhagwan. Now, everybody's mind is different. Some people love huge pujas, and it may last 1 hour and they love it. Others say, Yari, this is too much for me. I just sit down, Vasudeva Sutam Devam, and I light my diya, and then I go. It does not matter. Important thing is to invoke Bhagwan every day. Physically involve your sarir. And if not, do physically just light the lamp. But as you are driving, do Manas Puja. Mentally, as you are driving, invite Bhagwan to your heart and do the entire puja, including offering food and everything. Thus, you start doing puja. Now, what happens? Puja is a karya. This karya, unlike adding anything, karya meaning it's an activity. This action purifies our heart. As you purify the heart, you begin to appreciate that, look, this Jagat, after all, it is He alone who has created. How can all those rules, sun rising, earth rotating, everything happens as planned? There has to be some intelligent entity. Call him third factor, call him Bhagwan, call him by whatever name. But he or she or it, and this is the beauty of it is, in our religion, he is it, he is him, as well as her. Right? All the three, neuter, gender also. So that entity who is everywhere, who is in and through the creation, just like water is in and through the ocean and every wave. He is everywhere. So by doing puja, slowly I raise my mind to the level that do I only want to worship him in this murti? Or do I now also see him in the entire universe? Just as every part of my body is me. The entire universe has come from him. Yes, I need help to look at the flag to remember my country. Similarly, in the morning, I do puja and my mind gets lifted that this entire world is nothing but Bhagwan. So when I leave my home until I come back, whether I go to work and get paid for it, or I do voluntary work, at all times, what am I doing? I am serving the Lord alone, because he alone is. So what is he saying? Jagata Ishadi. Jagata, the universe, the world that I see around. Jagata Ishadi. Isha Ishwar, the very creator. Please don't think creator meaning someone other than you. I mean someone other than the creator is the one who is in and through the creation. In other words, he is in my heart as much as he is everywhere. Just as sugar is in and through the entire sweet, just as water is in and through the entire ocean. Similarly, just as I am in and through my entire dream, Narayan is in and through the entire creation. If he is in entire creation, more and more I do puja, more and more I think what happens. I begin to appreciate Jagata Ishadi. This Jagat is nothing but expression of my Narayan alone. And where does the all understanding happens? What? Where? In thee, in Buddhi. In my Buddhi, Jagata Ishadi, Yukta Sevanam. Yukta meaning Sevanam. I understand that Jagat is every, in my Buddhi, I understand that I and Jagat, there is no difference. And therefore, Jagata is a Yukta Sevanam. And what is this Jagat made up of? Astamurti Bru Deva Pujanam. It is made up of Asta, Pancha Mahabhut, Akash, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi, Sun, Moon, and Jiva. These 8 it's made up of. Akash, Vayu, Apa, these 5 elements are common to everybody. Sun representing, all the stars, etc. Moon representing all the planets. And the Lord in my heart, just as Lord is in every heart. Thus, as I understand, with a firm understanding, Yukta Sevanam, I start serving the world. Yukta Sevanam, Astamurti Bru. This becomes now, remember, until now, it was only Krishna or Shiva in my puja room. Now what happens? The entire Jagat becomes my Shiva, my Devi, my Ganpati, and Deva Pujanam. So whatever now I do becomes his puja. Lokmanya Tilak, very well known. He has written a commentary also, Hita Rahasya. He is the one who has started this Ganpati, puja, etc. And how we in India invite Ganpati on Ganesh Chaturthi, and all this he is responsible for. One day, Lokmanya Tilakji went to his friend's home early in the morning because he was a sevak involved in independence, etc. So Tilakji went to his friend home early, whereby the friend yet did not even have an opportunity to do his daily puja. Now, naturally, Tilakji came. So the friends started talking, what do we have to do, etc. We have to remove the Britishers. And they started planning things and whatnot. So the mother of the house told the 14, 15-year-old son that, look, before you go to school, you do the puja because Papa is busy today. Now, 15, 16-year-old, they don't want to puja. He starts arguing, why should I do puja, etc. Their mommy says, no, Papa does it every day. Yeah, but look, does Tilakji ever do puja? He's always running about here and there, etc. And the argument started. And once you start arguing, what happens? Slowly the volume starts going up. So Tilakji heard that in the next room, some argument is going on. And he heard that the boy is saying no to puja. And he's using Tilakji as an example. So Tilakji went to that room and, yes, beta, you are saying I don't do puja. Yes, when do you do puja? Did you not get ready and directly come to me? Yes, beta, I did. But let me show you where I do puja. He takes the young 15, 16-year-old boy to the terrace. He says, do you see all these people down below walking? He said, these are my God. I do puja of these people from the minute I wake up till I go to bed. These are my Deva, these are my God, and I worship them. In other words, what? Jagata Ishadi Yukta Sevan. Now see, friends, it is very easy to understand the concept because we are all intelligent. But we get satisfied. Hey, that is very good, Jagata Ishadi Yukta Sevanam. But suppose Jatin Bhai Desai, our maintenance person, calls you. Hey, we are opening up on 6th of March after a year, 2 years absence. I need you to come 30 minutes early and help in parking. I am a doctor. How can I come for parking? Don't you have anybody else? Jatin Bhai, you cannot. No, I have no time. I can barely come. Jagata Ishati Yukta Sevanam Astamurti Bro. Jatin Bhai does the puja. Jagatais. See, I want you to think. There are teachers who used to come. They come at the beginning of first session. Some of them attend the session. Second session, they teach. Some teach in the first session, they are there from 8:30 till 1 o'clock. But some others, hey, well, if I can come and can volunteer for 15 minutes, but I can't be there from 8 to 12 or 1. Where is your bhavana of Jagata Sati? Remember, Seva begins at home, number 1. Your spouse, your children, their seva. For children, it is your parents, begins at home. Then naturally, the house of worship where you go. These are the field Bhagwan has created. Remember, not for Bhagwan's benefit. If not you, somebody else will be there. But for my purification. Remember, Krishna is not longing for me doing puja, that today Gaurang did puja and offered me a mango, so I'm happy. There are hundreds of millions of Hindus offering him things. But when I offer, my heart gets pure. So think, even when you are going to the hospital or an engineering job, yes, you get paid for it. But Narayan, this is the field you're given. You are getting paid, but your work is your worship. Jana Seva is Janardana Seva. Develop this attitude, otherwise Ahankar will take over and you will not be a Bhakta. And then what will happen? I am doing it. Again, agitations. You remain where you are. I remain where I am. Only thing is, we now chant what? Karturagnaya prapyate phalam. And we very proudly say, Jagatai Sadi Yukta Sevanam Astamurti Brut Deva Pujanam. Bhagwan, I'm so glad you have given all the sevaks this field to do seva, and I'm the beneficiary of that seva. Is that what you want? Or do you want to be the one who is doing seva? Not that I am doing the seva, but hey, Bhagwan, I thank you for giving this field. Vivekananda says, thank the beggar that he is there, that you can give your nickel. At that time, it would be 5 paisa. If he was not there, who will you give? Don't have the bhavana, I am giving. But uska abhar mano, thank you so much that you are there. Not that you want him to be poor, but now that he's there, thank you, I am able to share what I have. So now, puja from lower level meaning doing puja. Now the whole world is my puja. But what was this? Pujanam japas, chintanam kramat. So now from puja, we go to japa. So do you want to chant, Jamuna?
Sure. उत्तमस्तवात् उच्चमन्दतः चित्तजं जप ध्यानमुत्तमम् उत्तमस्तवात् उच्चमन्दतः चित्तजं जप ध्यानमुत्तमम् चित्तजं जप ध्यानमुत्तमम्.
So now Bhagavan says, puja is done, kaya, body is involved. Now vak, the speech. Every one of us know that when we speak, when we hear bhajans, etc., our mind gets lifted. Remember, everything has 3 aspects. I am urging everyone except Jitendra Kumar, if you are on the screen, don't turn it off. Anish, remove anybody who is not, that I cannot see. And gallery, just remove them, please, except Jitendra Kumar. Because they keep going in and out. It is very disturbing when I'm looking at it. Suddenly one window goes away. 3 aspects to everything. Rupa, Nama, and its nature. Rupa is much easier, and we do puja to the Rupa. Then comes Nama, and then the very nature. About a year ago, somebody called me. And he says that, look, you know, this person who sings so well, now we have got so many singers, and he sits on the right of you, and many times when he sings, you say, oh, very good, very good. And I kept asking who. He wanted his number to see if he can invite him for, singing bhajan. So I went through different names, these, that, etc. And finally I said, Kailasake Nivasi. That gentleman, who wears all this nice kurta, different color, etc. That person, Gaurangbhai, what is his name? So remember, the roop was very easy for him to know because you see it again and again. It stays in the mind. But the name he didn't know, even though he was coming for 2, 3, 4 years. Right? Rupa is much easier. Then comes Nama, and then comes the form. Now what happens? Uttamah stava uchamandata. He says stava meaning stuti of Bhagwan. Now stuti of Bhagwan, we all get inspired, right? Just think of it. Kailas ke nivasi namu bar bar hu. Ayo sharan tihare prabhu par tar tu. Right? Then he says, what is that other stanza? Where he says, Bhakto ko kabhi tune nirash na kiya. Manga jo jisne chaha vardhan de diya. Now remember, at that time, harmonium is going on, manjiras are going on, tablas are going on, and you are listening, Manga jo jisne chaha. Now, if you are wanting money, you think Bhagwan will give me money. If you are not want a child, you think, Manga jo Bhagwan, I will pray, you will give me children. If you want pure antakaran, you will say, Bhagwan, I'm doing your puja. I want the whole world to be you, and I want to serve you, and I want to purify my heart. Bhagwan, help me purify my heart. Manga jo jisne chaha. As you think you are, this inspires you. Some people do Purusa Suktam, etc. and they get inspired. Some do Vishnu Sahasranam. Some do Rudram. But all of it is what? Listening, isn't it? Uttamastava. These are all stuti of Bhagwan that inspires each and every one of us, and we love it. But that can only take you to certain height when you are alone and the manjiras are not there, harmonium is not there, etc. Then to focus with my voice, which is not like Hemant Bhavsar's voice, what happens? It becomes difficult to focus. We all have experience. So Bhagwan says, better than stuti, uttama stava, uccha mandatah chitta jam japa, dhyanam uttamam. Stava, stuti is good. It inspires my heart. But japa even is better. How? Remember, japa meaning the same words are repeated. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. It helps us focus our mind, concentrate our mind. Now, what do you mean by concentrating? There are two types of thoughts all the time. Vijatiya vritti prava, sajatiya vritti prava. Vijatiya, jati meaning species. Vijatiya meaning meandering mind that is going from here to there, to there, to there. And sajatiya vritti prava, same line of thought. Businessman, how his thoughts are always on the business. Or when you are chanting Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, same thought. What do I mean by Vijatiya Vritti Prava? Meaning meandering mind that is here and then it keeps on jumping. Think of this individual who was looking for Hemant Bhavsar, right? He doesn't know, he just knows his Rupa, right? Now he's thinking of Kailas Kenivasi. So Kailas Kenivasi is really inspiring me. But now what is he thinking? Oh, his name is Hemant and he wears such nice kurtas, right? He has all these different color kurtas. They are really nice. Where is he? Kailas Kenivasi. Now where has he come? To Hemant's kurtas. Then he's saying now COVID is going away. And this December, I definitely want to go to India. Let me find out from that person who is singing Kailas Nivasi, where does he buy these kurtas in Ahmedabad? And I want to find out, I want to get from Kailas Nivasi and Lord Shiva. Where has your mind come to? This is called Vijatiya Vritti from Kailas to Hemant, to Bhajan, to Hemant, to Smruti, to Tabla, to Hemant's Kurta, all the way to your trip to India. There is no consistency. This is a typical mind called meandering mind, continuously jumping. You are thinking of the ball game. I wonder if that McAvey, I don't know how to say his name, but the guy, the Houston furniture guy, who has put $4.5 million wager on the Cincinnati Bengals. How nice of him. I hope he wins. If he wins, all these people who want to buy furniture, they will get $3,000 discount. Now, from game, where does your mind go to? Watch your mind. Don't take my words. Whatever you are thinking, your mind is always meandering, number one. Number two, if it is not meandering, it is reacting. Strongly reacting to raga or dvesa. Oh, I love that. I really want to do this. Or I hate that. Why did he do it? Thus, our mind is constantly, generally meandering mind, or caught up between raga and dvesa. I want to harness this mind. If my car doesn't cooperate with me, I no longer can use that car. On 6th of March, when I get in my car and leave Sugarland to go to Chinmaya Smruti, and it says, no, I want to go south, is that car useful to me? It has to obey me. Try that with your mind. Meandering mind going everywhere. Japa helps us focus. But you say, but my mind just meanders. That is why it says what? Ucha mandataha. Ucha meaning, para, see, you speak loud enough. Para gochara sruti. Sruti, what you are saying, other person can hear. Meaning you can hear and somebody sitting next to you or nearby, they can hear. Not so loud that the rest of the family member will get disturbed, but loud enough so you can hear. Now, why? Think of it. As I am talking right now, do you think I have a luxury to allow my mind to go and think whatever it wants? Only thing I can think of is what? Part of the mind, hey, what am I going to say next? If my mind starts meandering, I'll have to stop and say, hey, one of you tell me, where was I? Isn't it? Because meandering mind will take you from one place to another. This happens. So an individual who wants to think, it helps him to what? Stay on the same line of focus. When I speak slightly louder, my mind does not get a chance to wander. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. No matter what your mantra, speak it little louder and repeat continuously. What will happen? Your mind that was meandering, wandering, suddenly becomes focused. But if you are not saying it loudly, mind will run away. So all those of you who are trying to do japa, first of all, understand the nature, the rupa of Bhagwan properly. Right? Just as that person remembered Hemant and his kurti. Right? Remember Bhagwan Krishna with this. So imagine the form. And then Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Second thing. When you do japa, remembering, we are trying to arrest the mind so that it will rest and stop meandering. So it is extremely important that you don't leave any space between two successive mantra. Parasruti gochara, loudly, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Any space in between, mind will run away. Once I have done this for 30, 90 days, and my mind has begun to focus. Uttamastavat. Remember, start out with bhajan stuti, loud chanting, then mandata. Om Namah Shivaya. Only my lips are moving, and just a faint sound. Even I have to make effort to hear Om Namah Shivaya. That I'm meaning my lips are moving. Barely sound is coming. And I'm repeating without leaving any space in between. This is called Uchamandata. Now remember, we started with Vijatiya, meandering mind. Now Sajatiya Vritti Prava, meaning what? The same mantra again and again. Mind is no longer meandering. This is called Sa Jatiya, Jati meaning species, Krishna alone. Om Namo Bhagavate or Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Ram and Ram alone. The mantra. Now what happens? Remember, when the same thought keeps repeating, doesn't your mind become quiet? If you do not agree, go back to whatever your age is, or go back to when your child was born. And when the child is tired and crying and you want the child to sleep, and you take the baby and put the baby in your lap, right? With your soft hand on his heart, and you start singing, mother, thinking I'm Lata Mangeshkar. But the child knows very well there is a huge difference between Lata Mangeshkar and Mummy, right? But you go, in 2-3 minutes, what happens to the child? You are proud that I sang so well. The baby is sleeping. The baby understands it was better to sleep rather than get bored with this sound. But the net result is what? The child is sleeping. Similarly, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om. When the mind does not meander and remains on the same thought, you will find at the end of 10-15 minutes that the mind that never cooperated and was helter-skelter, suddenly when you stop, mind is so quiet and relaxed, making you aware of the presence of Bhagwan. Then he says, Chitta Jam Japa Dhyana Muttamam. How does Japa lead to Dhyana, and why Dhyana is best? We will see it next time. But between today and next Sunday, at least I urge you, if you are not doing it already, light a lamp in front of Bhagwan at your home. If not, and if you are busy, you eat fruits at least before eating. When you go in the morning, go to Bhagwan and offer him a fruit. Then in the evening you come, you get to eat also. Offer him the fruit that you like. But the very fact that Bhagwan, I'm offering this, and then think that when I leave the house, everything I do for the rest of the day, Krishna, this is Ishvara, every karma, I'm going to offer it to you. And when I come home, I will have this fruit as a result of my karma. And try to see whoever at the office, even the person you dislike, when you deal with him, I don't like him because of my limitation, but Narayan is also in him. Along with this, before going to bed, take a japamala, parasruti gochara. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo. Do at least one mala, but slowly, right? Just how I did. Not Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo. That will not help. Quietly, but without leaving any space. And you will see the magic of japa and puja in your life in less than 90 days, if you do it every day sincerely and with bhavana. Regularity and sincerity both together will definitely achieve the result. But I have to be regular. Otherwise, first 4 or 5 days kiya, then you forget until I remind. Then again you do it. Then you say, "Usme kya hai? He never eats, so I offer it." It is not so. Aren't you going to give flower to your beloved one on 14th? Then the one who is keeping you alive, in spite of whether you recognize him or not, who blesses you all the time, giving you the sunlight, whether you worship the sun or not, should you not remember him and offer him something? So let us do it. Okay. Chamana, Sarve Bhavantu.
ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ